Hello, people of the internet. This is my third take, and the whole reason it's my third take is the fact that my phone keeps giving me a notification that stops the recording, and the reason why it does is because it's a notification from my clock app, because it's the alarm to tell me when to start a video. So I turned that my alarm off so it'll stop with the stupid notifications. Okay, here's the point of the video. I'm so sorry, but I'm so sorry for myself because you won't even know that about the second. Or you'll know about it, but you won't have to experience them one after another. So I was thinking about Mortal Kombat, and the first thing I want to say is that a lot of people think it's pure violence, but it isn't. It's just kind of like most, media where there's death in it, but it's really the death is only there for the story. It's not there just because death. It's not like that one Transformers comic. What was it? It was like the second run of the comics where they just killed and killed. But Mortal Kombat isn't like that. They just kind of death is only there for it has a purpose. Death is there for a purpose. Um, um, uh, oh, Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna review the games. Well, 9 through 11, because those are the ones I don't like, or I don't like the story of. So I'm gonna start with 9, and I'm gonna make part 2 about X, and then part 3 about 11. So MK9. MK9 did a lot of retcons. And here's the first thing. Sorry about that pause. I'll probably edit that out if I learn how to edit. But they retcon Armageddon, and I'll explain that. So Armageddon was between the husband and wife, Argus and Delia. Argus was the god of Edenia, or the protector god of it, so he protected Edenia. Delia was his wife. They found out, or they, I guess figured it out, that the amount of people in the universe with a lot of magical power, all the gods, sorcerers, and just regular people, will end up destroying the universe because the universe can't handle that much power in it. So they create this plan. Either they kill all the fighters and take the power, or take their powers away. And because of that argument, they decide what's going to happen is they send their children on the quest to kill to kill Blaze, who is this person who has a lot of power. So they kill Blaze, who's created by Delia. But Blaze's power is gonna go into whoever kills them, and kills Blaze, and Blaze's power is gonna get rid of their mortality, so they go from demigod to god, and they're gonna become protector god of Edenia. So Argus can go from god to elder god. And all Elder God really is that he joins the pantheon of elder gods, and which is just kind of just the people who decide things. I don't really have that much really good thing about them other than the power, and the power you can't even use. Like, all they do is just watch and see what's going on, and and then the only people who could talk to them are gods, and the mortals those gods bring with them. And they rarely ever do. Or they've only brought a person with them. Brought a person with them once, which was Liu Kang during MK9. But Raiden might have come up there during the original MK3. But Taven won, and Taven was going to be the one who took away all their powers, or at least the armor he put on was going to do that. So the power of Blaze was going to transfer into the armor, through the armor, and then into him to do what it was supposed to do. And it did do that, but you see, but Blaze was corrupted. And the reason why and how is that Blaze was mind controlled, or he was mind controlled by the disciples of Onaga. And that mind control, either that or the potion that got his memories back, messed with him and corrupted him. So instead of taking away their powers, it increased their powers. By what happened is it didn't just increase their powers, it split the power of Blaze between every fighter. So what happened is that was retconned. And that was retconned. And I know it sounds awesome, but it was retconned. Now instead of that happening, Shao Kahn kills Blaze, and Shao Kahn gains the power of Blaze and uses it to conquer the universe. But first, before that happens, he kills Raiden, Lord Raiden, right? And there's another retcon, Raiden's amulet. He didn't have that amulet originally. He only had it in MK9, so they could set things up for MK9. But that amulet was retconned in. So I always imagined it just represented the position of Protector of Earthrealm. But that amulet was retconned in. So Shao Kahn, beats up Raiden, and then the amulet falls off of his chest and off of Raiden's chest and onto the ground, breaking. So he uses the amulet to send a message back in time and some visions of what's going to happen in the future. So that way they can stop Armageddon and a few other things along the way as well. So the first thing he says is he must win, the first thing he says is he must win, which means Shao Kahn must win in MK3. And I'll explain why when I get to the MK3 portion of the game. He says that, but the thing is he could have easily said Kahn must win, Shao must win, Shao Kahn must win, the invasion must succeed. I don't know. Like, he could have said anything. He could have said anything that was more specific, but he didn't. He didn't. It's, well, like, why? Why didn't he, but he didn't. And the visions, and then he sends visions to his past self as well. That message also gets sent to his past self. So his past self, he sees those visions, but then the first thing you notice is there's a lot of retcons. The first retcons, I'll go over the first retcon that isn't in the story but is in one of the bios for the characters, because that one, that retcon, if you hear talking in the background, my dad and stepmom are watching TV, talking other than mine. But the first retcon, which is in a bio, is with Sindel. Or actually, no, it was in game, so I'm not going to mention that one until I get to that point. It was mentioned in the game, now that I think about it. So I'll just wait until I get to that part. I might edit in visuals as well. But, this is the MK1 portion. And basically, the past self is, Raiden gets the visions, and it goes from MK1 to 3. So MK1, the first visions he gets are of Kung Lao and of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. And I'll tell you what those visions are. So the first one he gets is of Kung Lao he gets the vision of Kung Lao attacking Baraka. And the reason why is that Kung Lao didn't get picked to participate in the tournament, and he wants to honor his ancestor. And the only way to do that, he wants to get revenge, because his ancestor was killed by the current champion Goro, and that's how Goro became champion. Was Goro killed Kung Lao, or the Great Kung Lao, which is his ancestor. And then Kung Lao, I guess, was named after the Great Kung Lao. So Kung Lao, he is disguised as a guard, and then basically Raiden is like, I know it's you, Kung Lao, and he's like, yeah? And then I don't know what else he says after that, because I haven't played the game, but I know a lot about it, so I've seen all of the critiques of it, and I've seen most of the cutscenes. But, so, yeah, I don't know, Kung Lao says, Raiden says he knows it's Kung Lao, and then Kung Lao, I guess, takes off the guard clothes, and then reveals himself as Kung Lao, And the first little problem that doesn't matter is that Kung Lao's hat just appears. He's wearing the guard clothes, and then, it cuts to his legs as the guard clothes fall off, and then it cuts back, and he has his hat on. And the weird thing is that in Shaolin Monks, when that happened, he had the hat on the back of his, robe. In Shaolin Monks, it made even less sense, because he still didn't try and get his revenge by fighting Goro. He didn't get his revenge during the intro either, so it's weird. But my point is, I'm reviewing MK9, so I'm gonna keep reviewing MK9. So, yeah, that's a retcon, actually, because Shaolin Monks, while it is a retelling of MK2, or the intro is about MK1, and then the game is about MK2. But while it is a retelling of MK2 and 1, sort of, it did retcon a lot of things, but those retcons were usually ignored. For example, it said that, those retcons weren't ignored, it's just that they weren't mentioned, so they could have been true, It's just that the game came out in between Deception and Armageddon, so really the events of 1 through 3 really didn't matter during the events of the earlier era doesn't usually the events of the earlier era doesn't matter in the later era, like MK. The classic era doesn't matter. You don't have to play it in order to play the 3D era, or in order to understand the 3D era. But what is it? What else was it? It was So the first thing is that Kung Lao sneaks onto the island, which is an MK Shaolin Monks thing, not an MK1 thing. In MK1, he didn't even want to participate in the tournament at all. He just kind of he didn't want to participate in the tournament. Because I don't know why you'd expect him to, the Shaolin Monk's motivation makes more sense. So. But that happens, Kung Lao fights. That isn't the first thing to happen. I'm sorry. That isn't the first thing to happen. The first thing to happen is Johnny Cage's chapter. Okay, yeah, I'll go chapter by chapter. This'll be easier. I'll go chapter by chapter. So the first chapter is Johnny Cage. I might move that part before, or I might just, get rid of it and just talk about it again. But the first chapter is Johnny Cage. And his chapter is, this is where you notice a lot of retcons immediately, if you've played the first game. Which is that Quan Chi is retconned into the game, and then into the classic era, actually. No, I guess retconned into... He wasn't in the events of 1 through 3, even though those are the only events MK9 are adapting. So Quan Chi was retconned into the events of Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, and then Katana and Jade were retconned into the events of MK1, and so is Nightwolf. Nightwolf was also retconned, and Kung Lao as later was as well. And I believe those are all of the people that were nope, Shiva, Baraka, and Reptile. Those are also people that were retconned into there. Shiva, Baraka, and Reptile. I'm just trying to remember the cutscene that showed all of those people. So that's why I didn't think of Shiva, Baraka, and Reptile, because Shiva, Baraka, and Reptile are revealed later. You fight Reptile, who was retconned into participating into the tournament. He was originally present, but he didn't participate. He guarded the bottom of the pit, because the pit is where you throw people in after a fight. So, he guarded the bottom, so if you survive the fall, he'll kill you, But then he's retconned into being present. And then Baraka is retconned, into participating and being present. He wasn't even present there at all in the original game. In the original game, I understand why, because I understand why they retconned the original game to have more people, because I'm definitely gonna clip my nails. But in the original game, there was only 5 people. Well, there was only 6, 7, 8 people that could be used, and they could not really be used that much. Like, there was Johnny Cage, Raiden. It was the playable characters were Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Johnny Cage, Kano, Sonya, Raiden, and Liu Kang. And then the non-playable characters were the sub-boss, Goro, the final boss, Shang Tsung, and the guard of the bottom of the pit, Reptile. And Reptile was a secret character. You had to do a certain, thing in order to fight him. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of retcons, is my point. And then the next thing is Chapter 2, where the Shiva retcon comes in. Because what happens is Johnny Cage beats up Baraka and Reptile. And then Sonya is walking on the pit, which is weirdly the MK2 pit, not the MK1 pit, which is another retcon. Well, it's actually, the game, MK9 only has 1 pit, so I understand why it's the MK2 pit and not the MK1 pit, because each MK1 through 3 all had a pit stage, so I understand why they just were why they just picked one. So they just had the MK2 pit, and that was the one in MK1, and there was none in MK2 3. So I don't know why they didn't just use the MK1 pit, considering it's the pit for MK1, and they only used it in MK1, or in the section of the game. No, this isn't where the Shiva retcon comes in. I'm wrong. This isn't where the Shiva retcon comes in. It's because there's it also comes in on a pit part of the game, but not in that cutscene, but on the pit. So I'm also gonna cut a few times because I'm not gonna review the whole game right now, because that would take a long time, and in order to edit it, that would also take a long time as well. So I'm gonna edit those clips together. I'm going to talk about this, and then Chapter 2, and then maybe Chapter 3, if I remember which character was after that. I believe it was Cyrax, and that was after that. Oh, Cyrax and Sector was also retconned in MK1. They were originally only in MK3, but then they retconned it. So eventually, what happens is Kano gets attacked. So Johnny Cage hits on Sonya, and then Sonya fights Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage wins because it's his chapter. Then Johnny Cage fights Kano because Kano attacks Sonya, and then Johnny attacks Kano, wins, and then helps Sonya. Will help Sonya by fighting Kano, and then help Sonya even more because she was on the side of the pit. I believe she was knocked off. Or no, I don't think she was. I think what happens is Johnny was knocked off, and then Johnny jumped back up. Johnny. Okay. So that was Johnny Cage's chapter. I know, 4 fights, so it's very easy to, just talk about. Then I'm going to do Chapter 2, and that's it, because I don't want to film for, too long. And it's probably each time I cut is probably going to be every half an hour. If I talk for this long in each part. But Sonya's chapter is next. Sonya fight, the first fight is between, I believe she's trying to find Jax, and it was Jax, because that was retconned as well. Jax was also present. He was captured, and that was where that retcon came in, was that Jax was captured. But the thing is they mess with a lot of things for no reason. Everyone's reason for being on the island is different now. Everyone except for Johnny Cage and Raiden and Liu Kang. And Kung Lao, I guess. But Sub-Zero's MK1 motivation was inverted. He was sent on he had a mission to kill Shang Tsung. Then, coincidentally, Shang Tsung gave him an invitation to the tournament, so he went to the tournament to kill Shang Tsung. So then, the next thing that happened was that then Kano's motivation was inverted. His motivation for participating, or for wanting to participate, was that he wanted to kill Shang Tsung and loot the island, and then that was inverted as well. Kano and Sub-Zero's motivations are that they're on the island to assassinate Earthrealmers. And that, I guess, is okay, but it's like, what's the point of retconning it when you already have a history to use for that part? But that is that, I guess. Oh, no, wait. No, Sonya's motivation is also inverted. Sonya was chasing Kano, and she jumped on the boat because Kano jumped on the boat, and then she was captured, and they were like, she and her squad were captured, and they were like, Shang Tsung was like, Sonya, you have to participate, or else your squad's gonna get executed, and that's why she participated, so her squad didn't get executed. And then that wasn't inverted; it was kind of, I guess, changed to. It was just changed. Instead of it being her and her squad that was captured, Jax was captured. So she participated to get to Jax and to save him. So, that part with her jumping onto the boat was removed, and it was changed from her squad to just Jax. Oh, I was talking about the change in his motivation. And then there was Jack. And then Sonya's chapters, you save Jax, Raiden, Sonya saves Jax, and then Shang Tsung wants to stop Sonya, or Shang Tsung is trying to stop Sonya, so Raiden stops Sonya from fighting Shang Tsung. The reason why is that Raiden. Raiden got the he must win thing earlier, and the he must win thing was that he thought the he who must win was Liu Kang in the first tournament. So he stopped. I don't know why he thought it was Liu Kang specifically. Like, you'd expect him to be like you'd expect him to have some sort of thought process. Like, is it Sonya? Is it Johnny? Is it Liu Kang? But, because, it doesn't matter who really wins because they're all Earthrealmers, so it'll all be points to Earthrealm, so Goro's win streak will be thrown out anyway, because they're all Earthrealmers. So I guess it just only matters because they have to be someone skilled enough to take down Goro, which he doesn't even know how skilled Liu Kang is, I don't think. But he thinks he who must win is Liu Kang, so he tries to stop Sonya. He succeeds, and then he's like, shield your eyes, and then he does this big bright light, and that big bright light blinds Shang Tsung and the guards next to him. So Sonya takes Jax. Sonya beats up Katana and Jade, and I believe that's it. Those are all the fights that I remember. Oh, and then also Jax gets recaptured, I think, and then so does Sonya. Or Sonya gets re-put into the tournament and Jax gets captured. Sonya, the weird thing is that some of the chapters only serve to get people out of the tournament, but Sonya was never removed from the tournament. But, or disqualified, I guess is a better word to use. So then the next chapter is, or not Kano. Kano never got a chapter for some reason. The next chapter was Cyrax. His chapter. Was about how the Lin Kuei Cyber Initiative was going to happen. Sorry if this is kind of boring, because I guess I really am not sprinkling any jokes around this, am I? I guess I guess people who watch this are probably watching it more for the review than for the jokes. But I'll probably attempt to think of a jokes about what's going on. Cyrax, he is a what did he do? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, he and Sector are talking about how the Cyber Initiative is going to happen, and the Cyber Initiative is to cyberize everyone. And the reason why the Grandmaster wants to cyberize everyone is because then he can easily control them, because he could just program them to serve him. He's not going to get cyberized though. So they want to cyber, and the reason it's cyberization and not creating robots is because cyberization would keep the skill of the people involved. So, yeah. I might just split each piece of this review as well. I might not just split up the review. I don't think I'll make this like the Fourth Snake where he just reviewed the game. I think I'm going to review a group of chapters and then split them up into parts. But my point is that they're talking about the Cyber Initiative, and that's what it really is about Sector and Cyrax talking about the Cyber Initiative. So if they gave the chapter like a name other than Cyrax, it would probably something related to either Cyber or Initiative or something Cyrax related. I don't know. But that so right so oh, this is the chapter where Sub-Zero? Yeah, Sub-Zero dies. I'm pretty sure Cyrax fights Johnny Cage, and that's how he gets disqualified. Then Raiden walks up to Scorpion and then talks to him and is like, Scorpion, he's like, hey Scorpion, I had a vision of you killing, if he gets a vision of Scorpion killing Bihan and then Bihan getting resurrected and becoming, killing the Elder Sub-Zero, Bihan, and a vision of Bihan getting resurrected and becoming Noob Saibot. And Noob Saibot is a wraith, and wraiths are really powerful, and he doesn't want someone who's kind of neutral to become someone evil. So that's what happens. Is he goes, Scorpion, if you don't kill Bihan, then I'll request that the Elder Gods resurrect the Shiro Ryu and your and your family. So Scorpion's like, yeah, I'll try. He's just like, yeah, and then he ends up killing Sub-Zero anyway because I don't know. What happens is he wants his revenge, but he gets super mad with Sub-Zero because Sub-Zero makes fun of Scorpion, so he teleports him into hell. But the weird thing is that Quan Chi was resurrected was retconned. Quan Chi was retconned into resurrecting Scorpion. So, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. So Quan Chi was retconned into resurrecting Scorpion. Why? I don't know. Sorry if I'm looking away. It's just that I'm kind of just looking out the window in my room. Here, you can see it. You can see it if I can find a way to turn it. Because I can see the screen, so I can see where it's pointing at. And is that the right way? Sorry for the break. I just wanted to show you the window for some reason. But trying to think. What was it? Oh. So the weird thing is that Scorpion wants his revenge, right? And rightfully, but Quan Chi is how Quan Chi gets Scorpion to kill Bi-Han is he's like he shows him visions of Scorpion killing or of he shows Quan Chi shows him sorry Quan Chi shows Scorpion visions of Bi-Han killing Scorpion's family and clan. Why? I don't know. But I guess it's just to remind him of that. You know, just so he gets mad, I guess. But that really wouldn't work, because the whole reason he's not killing him is because he wants his family and clan back. So, it just really doesn't make that much sense. You know, so that the Scorpion kills Sub-Zero. First, so, oops, let me just turn that around so the little time thing is on the top. Scorpion kills Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero, well, he dies, as you do when you get killed. So Scorpion kills Sub-Zero and brings Sub-Zero's skull to the tournament, or to the island where the tournament's at, and shows them the skull, and he looks sad, which I understand why, considering he just took away his own chance to have his family and clan back. And he also betrayed Raiden, but I guess I don't think he really cares about Raiden that much. But so he drops the skull of Sub-Zero, and him killing Sub-Zero then is actually a retcon. He originally killed Sub-Zero at, I know this is a minor retcon, but he originally killed Sub-Zero after the tournament. And that's the whole reason why he didn't retreat with the Earthrealmers, was that Scorpion killed Sub-Zero and teleported back into Hell. So, you know, they ran away. So that's why he didn't retreat with the Earthrealmers, was because he died after the tournament, not during it. Sorry. But yeah, that's a retcon. But I guess that's it. That's not it for the game, but that's it for Cyrax's chapter, which is it for this part, because it's getting to half an hour now. But yeah, I guess that's it. Bye, Mom. Bye, people of the internet, and Mom too, I guess. Bye is my point, is that I'm saying bye. So bye. See you in my next video. Well, I won't be seeing you at all, because I'll be looking at a camera. So, looking at my phone, actually, because I use my phone, which is probably why it's a lower quality than most YouTubers. But, bye. Sorry for all of the byes, but bye. See you later.